I'll kick it off. Thanks to both of you for coming this morning. I think this might be your fourth, fifth time back. This is your first time here. Welcome.
Thank you.
We're trying to get to the heart of the train component in Northwest Indiana, and as the two of you and I were whiteboarding earlier, when you draw it all out and you see the hub and spoke system that I grew up with in suburban Chicago, and that you ran for a heck of a long time in suburban Chicago, and you look at what we have the potential to build, the project that you guys are working on, to me, is just an absolute no-brainer. Tell me enough about it so that everybody else sees it the same way.
Sure. Before I got here, Bill, the RDA, and the NICTD board put together a plan. And they put a time frame on it of 20 years, and I look at it as a 20-minute plan. And it's an infrastructure plan that takes the great system that we have today, the bones of the system today, and then builds out on it. And we have a lot of railroad where we have limitations that prevent us from improving the service. We have primarily single track. It's like a one-way street with one lane, but we use it to drive traffic two ways. And so if there's anything that occurs on that one-way street where we blow a flat tire, everybody waits, the service degrades, we have delays, and we can't add more service, because on a one-way, one-lane street, you can't pass the slower moving car, right? It's as simple as that. Our project that we want to do, ostensibly it's double tracking. We want a second lane so that we can improve the service, we can reduce the travel times, we can add more trains so that we can get to hourly service that we used to have on the South Shore line. That we can reduce travel times from Michigan City an hour 40, bring it down to 60 minutes. Chesterton for an hour 20, bring it to 50. Gary Miller area, you can bring that down to high 30s. Hammond, we can get there in 25 minutes from downtown Chicago. And that's the difference. The difference between our system here in Indiana, where we have the single track territory, we have slower service, we have less frequent service. You go over to where I was for 28 years on Metra, you've got double and triple track railroads that have half-hour or hourly service and much quicker commute times. It's that simple.
So this whole project's about making it faster, just like he said. Think about that corridor. If you haven't been there, you need to go. We've just done a tremendous shoreline project as a bookend on one end, and then the other is going to be what we call transportation-oriented development, which is really development with a rail anchor.
Yeah.
And the faster it is, it's defined by two value points, really. How fast can I get, and to where am I going? And in our case, the where you're going part is the third largest economy in the United States, ninth largest in the world. So the value of that train is indisputable. It's bigger than any economic development project that we've seen from a single company in decades. I can't remember a time, we've said before, the last time I think a company located here and it changed the face of the area was when Bethlehem Steel came in the early 60s. Yeah. Now, how many riders do you have a day?
About 12,000. 12,000.
Show me a company that employs 12,000. We're talking about knocking that up to somewhere in the neighborhood of
25.
25. Yeah. That's with Westlake and double tracking, so more options, better, faster. And what I really like about it is it's conservative. It exists already. So all we're saying is let's take what we have and make it as good as it can be.